Hello, and welcome back to Tech Support Monday. Last week on Tech Support Wednesday, we talked about something that often gets overlooked, accessibility features. These are tools built right into your phone, your tablet, or even your computer to make technology easier to use. Most people think of accessibility as only for seniors or those with disabilities, but here's the truth. These features are for everyone. If you ever said this text is too small, or wow, the screen's too bright, or even I wish I could read this article without all the junk on the page, you're going to love today's video. We're going to dive deeper into accessibility features you already have but probably aren't using, and how they can save you time, reduce stress, and just make tech feel more friendly. Let's get started. First, let's talk about where you can actually find these features. Every modern device, whether it's your phone, your tablet, or computer, has a dedicated accessibility section in its settings. On iPhone and iPad, just go to Settings and Accessibility. On Android phones, it's usually under Settings and Accessibility too, though some brands can give slightly different terminology and names. On Windows computers, look for Ease of Access or Accessibility in the settings. And on Mac, it's under System Settings and Accessibility. Here's the great thing. You can't really break anything by looking around in there. If you turn something on and don't like it, you can just turn it right back off. Think of this menu as your personal toolkit to make tech work for you instead of the other way around. These settings don't just help people with vision or hearing challenges. They can help anyone who wants things to be easier, faster, or more comfortable. Now, let's start with one of my favorite features, reading mode. If you've ever tried to read an article online and had to dodge pop-up ads, floating videos, or weird sidebars, you know how frustrating it can be. Reading mode fixes that. In most browsers like Safari, Edge, and Firefox, there's an icon in the address bar that looks like a page or pair of glasses. Tap it, and suddenly all you're looking at is text and pictures you want. No clutter, no distractions. On phone, you might need to enable it in settings or use a free extension, but it works just as well. Here's a bonus tip. Once you're in reading mode, most browsers also let you adjust the font size or background color. That means you can make the text bigger or add extra spacing or even switch the softer background color for easier reading. It's like giving any website its clean, simple, easy-to-read makeover, and it's perfect for news articles, research, or even recipes. Next up is text-to-speech and screen reading features. If you ever wish someone could just read an article and email to you while you were cooking, folding laundry, or even commuting, this is your answer. Most devices have built-in features that can read almost anything on your screen out loud. On iPhones, it's called Speak Screen, and on Android, it's Select to Speak. Windows calls it Narrator, and Macs have a feature called VoiceOver. These are lifesavers if your eyes are tired or you're visually impaired, or you just want to give your hands and eyes a break. Students love it for reviewing notes, and it's great for podcasts on the fly when you don't actually have a podcast version of what you're reading. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh no, I tried that years ago and it sounded like a robot from 1985. And you're right, those old voices were not great. Think Microsoft Sam from the Windows XP days. Those voices could make a bedtime story sound like a horror movie. But things have changed. Modern text-to-speech sounds almost human, with natural pacing and even multiple voice options. So don't write this off based off of what you sounded like back in the Vista era. Give it another try. You might be surprised at how pleasant it is now. Now, let's talk about zoom tools and magnifiers. Every modern device has some way to make text and images bigger, and it's not just for people with vision problems. Sometimes you're just tired of squinting at tiny text, or you need to see a small detail up close, like reading the fine print of a website or checking the serial number on a piece of equipment. On phones, you can often use pinch to zoom in most apps. Most devices also have built-in magnifier apps that literally use your camera as a digital magnifying glass. On computers, can increase text size or use a full screen magnifier that lets you move around like a digital lens. Here's a bonus tip. You can usually increase text size system-wide without messing up how your apps look. That means larger, easier to read text everywhere, emails, messages, and websites, without breaking page layouts. It's a simple change, but your eyes will thank you. Now, let's talk about dark mode, high contrast, and color filters. This one's close to my heart because I use dark mode in almost everything, from my phone and tablet to my computer. Why? Because it gives my eyes a break, especially at night. It's healthier, particularly if you're someone like me who likes to read on the couch or in bed at night. Staring at a bright white screen in dark room is like looking at a flashlight, and no one wants that. Dark mode flips the color so you get light text on a dark background, which is easier on the eyes and on many devices can save battery life. High contrast mode is also useful, especially if you have vision sensitivities or work in bright environments. In color filters, they're a game changer for people with color blindness, and not even colorblind people users can use them to make certain text and details stand out better. Bottom line, don't underestimate just how much of a difference these little tweaks can make, especially if you spend a lot of time looking at screens. Another game changer is voice controls and hands-free use. We all know about Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa, but most devices go beyond just, hey, what's the weather? You can use voice controls to open apps, scroll through a web page, type out a message, or even navigate settings, all without touching a screen. This is especially useful when your hands are busy, like cooking dinner, working on a project, or even driving. And it's not just for convenience. For anyone with mobility challenges or even temporary injury, it can be a lifeline. Once you get used to it, you'll find yourself doing everyday things faster and easier just by talking to your device. It's one of those features you might think you'll never use until you try it. There's a lot more accessibility tools that you don't always get the spotlight, but they're incredibly useful. Here are a few that you might want to check out. Live captions. Many phones, computers, and now generate captions in real time for videos, podcasts, or even live conversations. Great for noisy environments or if you're hard of hearing. Focus and attention tools. Some devices let you dim distracting parts of screens or highlight just what you're reading. It's perfect for people with ADHD or anyone easily distracted by busy layouts. Assistive touch and custom gestures. If you find some hand motions or buttons hard to press, these features let you create shortcuts with simple taps. Hearing aid compatibility. Many phones can connect directly to hearing aids or even via certain sounds through the device's microphone. Safety features. Things like fall detection, emergency shortcuts, and vibration alerts are technically accessibility features, but they can help everyone. Bottom line, don't assume accessibility is just one or two features. It's an entire toolbox designed to make life easier for everyone. Great question, Sarah. Some browsers like Safari or on iPhone and iPad let you set reading mode and turn it on automatically for specific websites, or even all websites. You can do this by opening the website, tapping the lowercase a, uppercase a icon in the address bar, and selecting Use Reader automatically. For Chrome and Edge, you might need an extension to make it automatic, but it's definitely possible. Awesome question, Mark. Dark mode changes your apps and backgrounds to darker colors, making them easier on the eyes and often saving battery life. Night shift, or night light on Android and Windows, changes the color temperature on your screen to reduce blue light, which can help reduce eye strain and improve sleep quality. I personally use both. I keep my Android phone in dark mode at all times, and I also use night light on a schedule. My phone automatically switches to night light at 11 p.m. and turns off at 6 a.m., but you can customize those times to fit your routine. It's a great way to make late night readings and browsing easier on your eyes. Good thinking, Jenna. On most modern devices, basic text-to-speech works offline as long as you have downloaded a voice in your settings. For example, iPhones let you download voices under Settings, Accessibility, Spoken Content, and Voices. And Android has similar options. Some advanced voices or real-time translation features may need the internet, but for reading local content, you're good to go offline. Yes, David, and you're not alone. Many devices now include focus-oriented accessibility features. For example, Apple has focus modes that filter notifications and highlight what's on screen. Some Android phones let you dim parts of the screen or use reading modes that block distracting animations. There are also third-party apps that integrate with built-in accessibility settings to help reduce screen clutter while you work or read. Great catch, Linda. Voice typing is indeed an accessibility feature, and it's a fantastic one for everyone. On Windows, you can press Windows key plus H to start dictating. And on Mac, you can enable dictation in accessibilities or keyboard settings. Most smartphones also have a little microphone icon on their keyboards for the same purpose. It's perfect when your hands are full or if you just type slowly. Accessibility features aren't just about working for one group of people. They're for all of us, whether it's using reading mode to declutter your news articles, letting your phone read to you while you cook, or giving your eyes a break and with dark mode. These tools are about making technology work for you. Which accessibility feature are you curious about, or is there one you already love using that we didn't mention? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments, and we'll pick some and feature them in the upcoming video. If you want your website to be just as user-friendly and accessible, visit us at 123mapwebsites.com. We build sites that are simple, accessible, and built for everyone.